Yo! You want to do the yo thing?
Insta. I see you on Insta.
You want to do yo? You want to go yo?
Nah.
Why not?
Mm-mm.
Why not? All right, we got to share these out there. Share now, public. What's up, everybody? Everybody.
We get on the Twitter.
Here you go. See the Riot. Do all caps so people see it. The Riot podcast with me and at Theriot7 is live. Watch. Boom. Link. Boom. I wonder if I have the Riot podcast logo saved on here. Probably not. I should get that. So the Riot podcast. Shoo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Sup, everybody. Sup, everybody. Sup, everybody. That sound good?
You should be a rapper.
I should be a rapper, shouldn't I?
You should. You'd be a good rapper.
I got rhythm.
You got some flow.
I got a little flow.
You got some flow.
Not like flow like you're talking about with hair flow, though, right? Not that.
You got some bars? Is that what they call it?
Yeah. Let's see. What's up, everybody? Let's see. Gosh, dog it. Hey, Paul O'Neill's watching. Sam Dixon. Matthew Rogelio said, wait, what? Yeah, Matt. So I'd said this morning on Morning Scone, no Riot podcast today, because you texted me at 6:30 and you're like, hey, no Riot podcast today.
Right.
And then, all right, anyway, we'll do that. All right, are we ready? Paul, you ready? Everybody who's watching, if you would please hit the share button, that would be tremendously helpful. We'd appreciate that greatly. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. You ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
This is the Riot Podcast with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot. One is an athlete, the other an athletic supporter. Follow the guys on Twitter at Matt Moscona and at Theriot7. Here's Matt and Ryan.
All right, we're off and running. Presented by the Riot. It's the Riot Podcast presented by Prime Occupational Medicine. We're not presented by the Riot.
No.
We're presented by Prime Occupational Medicine. We're the Riot Podcast. He's Ryan. I'm Matt. Glad you're here. There was a comment already on the Facebook Live. It said, wait, what? It's from Matthew Rogelio. Well, I announced this morning on Morning Scone that we weren't going to do the podcast today. We're going to do it tomorrow because you texted me at 6:30 a.m. and said, hey, bro, can we do the podcast tomorrow? And so I said, all right, let me check with Paul. So then I texted Paul at 6:30 in the morning, who was like, yeah, that's cool.
Emotional Paul.
Yeah, that's cool. Paul, what were you doing at 6:30 in the morning? Oh, your microphone's not on, huh? What? I woke you up? Huh? Half sleeping. Okay. So anyway, so Paul said he could be here tomorrow, no biggie. And then I rearranged my schedule. I had a TV thing to do. I had an interview thing to do. I rearranged my whole schedule. And then a short time later, he said, hey, bro. My meeting got canceled. Can we do today? And so then I had to go undo everything that I had undone and redo it. TV thing, an interview I had to do, prep for my show today, so we could be here today.
Is that how the text sounded to you?
Yeah.
Like when you read it?
At 6:30 in the morning.
When you read the text,
yeah,
that's
right
like in your mind, that's what it sounded like.
It was, no, here's your text. 6:32 a.m.
There's not a I didn't write that. I didn't type that.
Can we do the podcast tomorrow? That's what you said to me. I said, works for me. Let me make sure Paul's available. So then I texted Paul. I texted Paul O'Neill at 6:33 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, man, Theriot asked if we could do the podcast tomorrow. Are you available? Paul said, yeah, that works for me. So I said, okay, thanks. So then I had to go rearrange all my stuff.
Why do you're the only one that has a normal voice here.
And then I get a text from you at 9:35 a.m.
Yep.
3 hours later.
Yep.
Me Meeting got moved. Today back on. Is that good for you? So I said, I'm good. Let me check with Paul. So then I texted Paul. Theriot can do today. Are you available? Sorry for the confusion. And Paul said, all good. Yeah, I'm on my way there now. So then I texted you back and said, we're goo. Good. Because I said goo the first time. And then you said, sorry about that. And then I flipped you off with a flip you off bird emoji. Because that's kind of what we do at times. Don't we do that all the time? Bird emojis.
You do that all the time. I don't ever do that.
I do that all the time to people. I love doing that to people. When people are like, oh, man, I'm sorry about this, I'm just like, I just shoot them the bird emoji. It's a good icebreaker. Because people are expecting, oh, don't worry about whatever. They get the flip the bird emoji. Yeah. It's a pretty good one. I like it. Yeah. All right. We'll do Kick Rocks here coming up shortly. A national championship game was played last night. It was just so awesome to see two teams nobody cared about play a game that for 25 minutes was heinously boring. The ratings sucked for the game, but it did go to overtime, and Virginia won. So if you were on Twitter last night, you saw them saying the same. Like every tweet was the same thing. What a story. From losing as the number 1 overall seed to a 16, all the way to winning the national championship. Blah, 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 blah. Right. That's how it felt. That's how the first 25 minutes of the game felt as well. All right, so let's start, though, with LSU baseball. Start in your wheelhouse. LSU takes 2 out of 3 from Texas A&M. Thoughts, reactions overall?
I had a good feeling going into the weekend. I mean, I just didn't think the offense would continue to perform at such a bad clip. The players were too good. You know, you continue to make adjustments. What scared me a little bit, obviously, was the left-handed starters for A&M. But, man, I really felt like those guys buckled down, had good competitive at-bats, made those guys, A&M's pitchers, work. And you start to see good things happen. Saturday, you want to win that game, but I got to give Paul credit. I mean, to move Walker up, in a game that Eric Walker 2 years ago you'd have probably felt pretty good about. Coming back off the surgery, still probably not 100%. You know, you see where you're at, and you're facing a guy in Lacey that, let's be honest, these guys may never see a pitcher like that, maybe ever. Even if you get to the major leagues, I was trying to think of a comp guy in the big leagues right now, and there's not many. I mean, maybe Kershaw 4 or 5 years ago.
Well, throwing that hard from the left?
With the breaking ball.
Oh.
Like, there's just not.
I was like Chapman, you know.
You get Chapman for 1 inning. Like,
yeah.
You're getting this guy.
No, for sure.
I think it pitched 112 or something. It was 95.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's an elite
It was
arm.
so funny, man. Yeah. Like, in Twitter's Twitter, right? But the LSU fan melt about why LSU can't hit elite pitching. I'm going, like, do you not realize that these are college hitters, most of whom will never play professional baseball, like or Major League Baseball? Like, Cabrera didn't play. I think you and I would agree Cabrera is going to be a major leaguer one day. I think Josh Smith has the potential to be a major leaguer. Everybody else would kind of be up in the air. I mean, is there another guy on that field that you say, yeah, that guy's a major leaguer?
I think DiGiacomo.
And he's green.
Yeah, I think we've seen a small sample size of this kid, but I believe that he checks every box for me.
So what you didn't say, though, was Watson or Duplantis or guys who have been key parts of the lineup, or Reed. It's like these are good college hitters. And they'll probably play professional ball.
They'll play pro ball,
but,
yeah.
But will they make the show? Anyway, maybe. But
well, I think, you look at like a Cole Freeman. I mean, how good was Cole Freeman at LSU?
Right.
You know, and he's an A-ball 3 years later or whatever.
So, but the point is, like, I think sometimes there's a disconnect. You don't realize that's the equivalent of like when Leonard Fournette's a senior in high school playing against high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could be a really good high school linebacker, but if you're 5'11", 195 or 205, and here comes 6'1", 230 that's about to be wrecking SEC defenses next year, you got no shot.
It's just
like,
different.
That's the comp that I think some people sometimes don't understand, like what you're looking at there with a guy like Asa Lacy. 95 from the left side never shows up on campus. And the thing Kendall Rogers from D1 Baseball told me, he said that guy showed up, he was 88, 89. And they worked with him, and his velocity had an uptick.
Yeah.
And so now he sits 93, 94, and he runs it up there 96, 97. He touched 98 on one pitch. I heard him say on the broadcast. I think it was the pitch that Saul Garza struck out on the hands.
Yeah.
Threw him 98 on the hands.
It's not fair. Yeah.
Nobody's hitting that.
No, you can't hit that. No, with that angle. So, yeah, man, I mean, look, I believe that those guys battled and fought against a good club, and to get 2 wins right there. Going into the series, I felt good. I mean, I said, there's a chance we sweep this thing, just because I didn't feel like the offense could struggle that much, for so long. And they came out of it, man. They should pat each other on the back. I thought they did a great job. Defense played great this weekend, as all of Paul's teams. You had some plays, man. You had some guys.
Game 2, they had 5 errors. That's what cost them game 2, because they got Lacey out of the ball game after 6. Well, in part because he struck out a million guys and threw a lot of pitches.
Yeah.
But they got a chance to get to the bullpen. What lost in the game was 5 errors, man.
Game 2, not so much. You're right. Game 2, not so much.
That's literally what cost them the game.
No, you're right. You're right. Game 2,
Chris Reed had a throwing error, run scored. Cade Beloso had a pop-up just outside of the first base line.
That has to be caught.
And he just didn't squeeze it. Next pitch, base hit to left or to right center, run scores. It's like that's how it went from 3-0 to 5-0. I mean, the defense is brutal.
You're right. In game 2, pitchers threw, and look, even Walker. Like I realize, you didn't win that game, but I didn't think he threw the ball bad. Cole Henry is a stud. I mean, let's just all keep your fingers crossed this kid stays healthy. Like, barring anything major, man, you're looking at a guy, like a real guy right now. What amazes me about Cole, the stuff jumps off the charts, and you see the dominating fastball. With good angle, he creates an angle on the fastball. It's not a flat pitch. He gets on top of the heater. It's tough to square up. Lights out breaking ball. We all see that, and we all talk about that. But what's impressive for me for Cole Henry is his mound presence. The guy never gets rattled. You don't see any emotion. Umpire screws up a call. He's got his glove out waiting for the ball back from the catcher. He's not looking in the dugout. He's not looking at the umpire. He's just he is 100% business when he's out there. And I'm just super fired up and impressed to see what that kid's doing.
Why were you okay with flipping Walker and Henry on Saturday? Because I didn't get that.
Well, I think we've got more of a track record with Lacey, so you know what he's gonna do. Henry's had a good run the last 3 weeks, but he is a freshman. And I would say, just from a consistency standpoint, right there, you go with your guy. I don't want to match him up against Lacey. Truthfully, Lacey's probably a tick better right now.
Yeah, he's better. But the question is, against a bad A&M lineup, could Henry match it pitch for pitch, and then it becomes a bullpen game?
Yeah, and I don't think the switch happens if it's not a doubleheader.
For sure. I think one of the explanations I heard was that Walker was used to pitching in the day and Henry was used to pitching at night. So that's why, to me, I think that cost you a chance to sweep. Because if Henry's pitching game 2, the first game of the doubleheader, and gives you 8 like he did, well, you win that game. And then Walker against TBA for A&M, which obviously saw LSU's bats get going, scored 9 runs in game 3. Like, that's going to happen. Like, the reason that Eric Walker on Sunday is so effective is because most teams don't have a number 3, let alone a consistent number 3. So when you go into Sunday and you're playing TBA about whatever that team has left in their staff, that's generally when you see big offensive days. If you have Eric Walker and he's on, that gives you an advantage every Sunday or every game 3. So I didn't love the switching them. I mean, that's hindsight's 20/20, but I said it at the time. I didn't understand.
And if you lose game 1, I don't think you do it.
For sure.
Yeah,
100%.
So I think everything kind of lined up in Paul's favor to kind of make that choice.
Let's talk about some of the lineup changes we saw. Brent Broussard batted 5th and DH'd.
Yeah.
What do you think about? What was that? Yeah. I mean, was that just let me get a right-handed bat in the lineup?
Yes. That's what that was.
And break it up because you had 4 of your first 5 hitters were lefty.
I don't know. Brant splits lefty righty. I don't know if he hits lefties better than righties. I'm assuming he probably does. If
Kid's batting 190.
yeah, but I
Ain't
mean,
hitting anybody good.
maybe hitting 270 against lefty. I don't know. We don't know. But that's the only thing I can kind of play on. You got to have a righty in the lineup. I didn't anticipate the number of lefties being in there, and I know there's not a lot of options.
Who do you put out there?
Well, you got Garza that you could put out there and kind of just keep
did
running him out
in
there.
game 2.
I know.
And he was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts.
Okay, but look who's pitching. Like, a lot of people would have been 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts.
So
I mean, how many other guys were 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts?
So I actually tweeted before that game. I said, I love having Garza in the lineup today because he's facing a fastball pitcher. And I think we've seen Garza's struggles have been against a breaking ball. And I love the fact, I'm like, look, I actually tweeted this. I don't care if he goes 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and a homer. If you have a guy when offense is going to be at a premium in a game like that can change the scoreboard with one swing, I want that guy in the lineup because it's less likely you're going to piece together 3 hits consecutively against Lacey to put a run on the board. It's more like what Cabrera did in Athens. Well, you walked or against Mississippi State, rather. You know, they were facing Ethan Small. Small strikes out the first 2 guys. He walks Duplantis, and Cabrera hits a 2-run jack. Right. That's more likely to happen. So I liked him being in the lineup, but he never got the 4th at bat. Which actually tells you what they think about him, right? I mean, in the 8th inning, they pinch hit Drew Bianco for Saul Garza.
Yeah, and I don't think that's honestly, I don't think that's fair. I mean, you look who the kid's facing. Like, and you do have other right-handed bats. I mean, you know, Braden Doty's sitting on the bench. He's a right-handed bat. I mean, do you put up a lefty just because he's got a better average or a better hitter against Lacey when you know they're at a distinct disadvantage? I mean, I've played on plenty of teams where like managers go by the matchup and period, end of discussion. And this is like really good managers too. I'm talking about Tony La Russa. Like, he is always playing the matchups. I played a game in Milwaukee. It was in the playoffs, and CC was pitching. And I hadn't played maybe like the first 3 or 4 games in the playoffs leading up to that, just because of matchup purposes, you know. And he calls me in the office and says, "Hey, you're in there. You know, you hit CC really good, and you hit swing the bat well in Milwaukee." And it didn't matter, you know. He just went strictly by the matchups and numbers. And so I do think there's. I mean, I crushed CC.
Who would you do that day?
I mean, I know I got a few hits. I don't remember.
What year was it? That was with the Cardinals? That was 2011.
Yeah.
What game was it?
I don't know.
2011. Cardinals. All right, you can continue. I'm going to look this up there.
Anyway, so I look, I'm a big matchup guy, man. I think you go lefty righty there.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. All right, game 1, Brewers won 9-6. Game 2, the Cards won 12-3. Game 3, Cards won 4-3. Game 4, the Brewers won 4-2. Game 5, the Cardinals won 7-1. This was in Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. Was it game 6?
I don't know.
12-6.
I don't know who was pitching. I don't know what game they pitched or any of that stuff.
Okay, well, let me see. So would have Sabathia have taken – well, no. Sabathia didn't take the loss in any of his games. Mm. Yeah, help me here, man.
I don't remember.
So it was the only game of the series you played?
No, I don't think so. But I remember going in, and I was not expecting to play, is my point.
Okay. Theriot. Let's see. You played in 4 games in that series. You had 10 at-bats. You were 1 of 10.
Mm. Who did I get? CC? Got him.
You were 1 of 10.
That's part of it. We won the series.
Mm.
Got a ring, too. That was good.
Mm. You struck out, too.
How many times?
Once.
That's not bad. Did I walk? No walks? I hit 100. That's all right. We won.
You did win. Did you like the approach of LSU's hitters better? Last week we talked so much about
I thought it was
approach and about stop trying to be so pull happy.
I think here's what happened, man. I think they knew they had to really buckle down against some good pitching, and you saw the at-bats mean something, man. Yeah, you saw a better approach. The pitchers almost forced them to do that, or else we'd have looked really silly. Regardless, I thought it was much better. Offensively as a whole, these guys swung the bats well. You see some runs being put up on the board. But and look, the Saturday game too, a lot of times, man, you just have to know when to tip your cap. And I do think they did a good job getting that guy's pitch count up. Lacey got him out of the game. That was obviously something that was talked about before. He did good.
I think they got his pitch count up because he struck out so many guys.
That too, man. He was punching. But, hey, look, get him out of there, man. It's all right.
I'm going to be nauseous. I'm looking up at the monitor in studios we record this, and they're honoring the 2018 Boston Red Sox live on ESPN.
Right there. Look at him. I love him.
Manny.
Yeah.
Give me a Manny story. You played Manny in L.A.
I did. I was really excited to play with Manny.
Why?
Because he's Manny.
He sucks. I hate him so much.
So he was
like, I hate the Manny being Manny thing. As a Yankee guy, it's nauseating.
So he was there for the first week. Dreadlocks, just whatever. And he's doing this thing. It's just kind of fun to be around. And it's later in my career, so I could talk to him and it was fun. And he was funny. Very funny.
This was you were in LA in 2010.
Yeah, always cracking jokes. Okay. There for the first week or two and then didn't show up. He just didn't come to the field for 4 or 5 days. Did not come to the field. Just, hey, where's Manny? I don't know. Hey, Skip. That's who was the
Mattingly?
man? No, it was Torrey.
Torrey.
Hey, Joe, where's Manny? Man, I don't know. He just didn't show up. And so the 4th or 5th day, whenever he comes back, it's a 7:00 game. He strolls in at noon, like everybody does, and puts his stuff down and goes, works out, and goes and hits BP and plays that night. I'm like, were you in the Twilight Zone? Nobody's going to tell him anything? How do you just not come to work?
Did he miss games?
He didn't come to the field.
But it was when you had games.
Correct. And nobody told him a word.
Did anybody write about it?
I'm sure. It was unbelievable. I'm sure they did. So that. And so I was with him for, I guess, I was probably in LA for a month and a half, maybe 2 months. When he was there, he was there every time other than that. I never saw him take a shower. All right, so we would play a game. He would play. He would come in, get undressed, put his suit on or whatever he was wearing. And keep in mind, he's got these long dreadlocks that smell like garbage. Okay, I never saw him shower the whole time I was there.
You think he just went home and showered? Do you think it's because he didn't want to be naked in the clubhouse?
I don't know. This is getaway days, too. So we're getting on a plane and we're flying somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be a 5-6 hour deal in that suit you're wearing. Never showered. I did hear a story that he's not allowed to stay in the Ritz-Carltons because he, peed and pooed all over a room.
Oh, stop it.
This is true. He destroyed this room at a Ritz-Carlton. I don't know how much truth there is this, but I did hear this.
Just blatantly spreading rumors.
And,
responsibly spreading rumors.
And so he couldn't stay. They wouldn't let him stay in the Ritz anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that the Ritz-Carlton told Manny to kick rocks?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's now time to kick rocks with Ryan Theriot.
Kick rock.
Kick rocks.
NBA can kick rocks because they're so dang sensitive.
What are you looking at? Kick rocks.
As a matter of fact, the NFL can kick rocks too.
We've got rocks. You know what to do.
In that case, then Matt's going to have to kick rocks.
Now let's see if Ryan Theriot actually prepared for this week's segment.
I'm going to tell myself to kick rocks.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
I cannot tell you how sick and tired I am of reading about Antonio Brown, his antics, his tweets, the way he talks about his teammates, how disrespectful that this guy is, not only to his teammates and the Pittsburgh Steelers, but the game of football. And the guys that came before him that followed a code of brotherhood. You keep what's in the locker room in the locker room. You respect your teammates. You respect how hard they work, even if they do better than you. You keep your mouth shut. You don't air dirty laundry for everybody to see and read. The issue I have with Antonio Brown, it's not even dirty laundry. Juju sends this man, which I thought was really cool of Juju Smith-Schuster to do when he was in college. Sends him a direct message. Yo, AV, I think you're awesome. You got any tips for my game? Or something like that. Antonio Brown thinks that, like, it's funny or degrading to Juju Smith-Schuster to send that out and, like, make fun of the fact that the kid wanted to get better, and he looked at him as a idol, I guess, like somebody that he idolized or wanted to be like.
Yeah.
Like, just totally throwing this dude under the bus. Like, I get it, okay? You got the stupid bleached blonde mustache. You look like a moron. Your whole your hair is stupid. The bleached blonde mustache is stupid. The way you're treating your teammates and the Pittsburgh Steelers and those that have allowed you to make millions of dollars and be a great receiver, you're treating them like trash. It is. I don't understand the world we're living in which people think that that is okay for him to put this kid on blast only because he's a better player than Brown. He's better, and his teammates like him.
I think you just like his name. You've said that all along.
I love his name.
You like Juju.
Team MVP, played great. Nothing but good things to say about Antonio Brown. That's it. Praises the guy. And then Brown's going to, like, attack Roethlisberger, going to attack the Steelers, going to attack Schuster. Like, come on, man. I can't root for him. I'm not going to wish anything bad on the guy. But, I mean, look, I am over that. He can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Joey Gallo goes deep yesterday.
Saw that.
For those of you who don't know, Joey Gallo, big.
Oh, I think LSU fans know Joey Gallo.
Big power guy, Texas Rangers. Big pop. So what we do now, Matt, is when you hit a homer, we have handshakes for everybody. Bryce Harper said he's got one for everybody on his team.
Right.
I don't know how they remember it, but anyway. So Gallo goes deep.
In this ballpark and really throughout his career.
Upon touching home plate, does his little handshake with Nomar Mazara, another big home run hitter, and then they grab each other's junk as they're walking off.
There it is. And there's the high five, the shake, and the junk. There was a junk grab there.
He legit grabbed another man's.
There was for certain junk grabbing.
They both grabbed it. I think that's crossing the line. I think it's a little bit much because of that, Joey and Nomar, because you participated in this too. You guys can kick rocks.
I mean, it's as plain as day there. They're grabbing junk.
Now, I had this little thing called the wiener slap, okay?
You did?
And I've talked about it. But I didn't do it like this.
With
like,
everybody there to see it?
Yeah, man. I mean,
in the locker room?
Something private. It was intimate to me.
So the thing is, though, with this, I think this is just, it illustrates the world that we're in now, that everything is seen. Everything's on TV. There's 15 camera angles catching everything. You can't hide anything anymore. Like, don't ever think you're going to do something and hide it when you're in public, because someone sees it and you're going to get found out.
He grabbed his whole package. It wasn't like a little.
No, there was full-on package grabbing. There's no question. That's a thing that happened IRL. That is a thing that happened IRL, package grabbing.
Yeah.
What else you got?
That's it. That's all I got.
I thought you had one more that we talked about.
Did I? I don't remember. I didn't write it down.
What was supposed to happen this weekend that didn't?
Oh. Ha.
Ah!
The St. Jude School. What's the whole name? The
St. Jude the Apostle Catholic School.
St. Jude the Apostle Catholic School over
where
there
my
on
wife
Highland
works
Road.
and your children attend.
They can kick rocks.
Get in so much trouble for this.
And whoever made the decision to
get
cancel the fair, cancel it. We didn't even postpone the fair. We canceled. You know how much it rained?
It's rescheduled for like October.
Matt, the 8th graders are gone.
You're
like,
right. No,
this is their last chance to hold hands and like go up under the Ferris wheel and do whatever the 8th grader like.
What are 8th graders doing to the Ferris wheel?
You never know what's going to
What do you
happen under
think?
the Ferris
What are you-
wheel or the
what are you,
tilt-a-whirl.
What are you
You never
implying?
know. Like, this is their last shot to go do
to
that.
do what? To do
stuff.
what under the Ferris wheel? What are you talking about?
I don't know what it is that
I mean, you made a
do.
gesture there. What was that? What was that gesture you made?
I don't know what it is that they would do under the Ferris wheel, but
Oh, really?
It-
What were you doing under the Ferris wheel?
it didn't rain a drop.
Not a single drop. Friday, Saturday, Sunday until about 6 o'clock, not a drop.
Not a drop. Like, and I know because I was at Traction. We had a giant tournament,
that's
and
funny.
we didn't have one rain delay. You know who I feel bad for in this scenario, though? It's the Carnies. I do. They were there, man, like ready,
They're ready.
full force.
They had it
This
set up.
thing was set up.
They're ready to
The
go.
caramel apples were going. We had
They're
the
ready.
cotton candy. Like, we had the whole
on.
thing. The shirts that say safety first on the back. Come on, who are you kidding? Like,
Right.
it was there.
They're ready to like shoot the little water gun into the little hole and send the teddy bear on the stick up to the top so you can win an overpriced stuffed
And
animal.
the men's club guys. Like, they were
Yeah.
fired up for
They're
this.
ready. Drink some beer.
Yeah. Probably had Bag of Donuts going to go play. I don't know. I'm assuming that. They always have
Saturday
a good
night.
band.
Good band Saturday night out on the
Yep.
deck out there. Yeah.
The
It's a good time.
bingo. I look forward to bingo in the
Sure you
cafeteria.
do. Of course you do.
I'm a bingo guy.
Bingo.
I go sit down and play some bingo in
Who
the
doesn't like
cafeteria.
bingo?
I want to know who made the call.
Well,
Somebody's going to be held accountable for this.
Well, I mean, I'm sure ultimately it's like the fair committee and the pastor, and ultimately he's going to make that decision.
Well, it was a bad decision.
Well, with the benefit of hindsight.
Canceled the fair.
I just want to know what you think that the 8th graders are doing under the Ferris wheel.
Well, it's what 8th graders do under the Ferris wheel.
What are 8th graders
Or the
doing under
tilt-a-whirl.
What do they do under the tilt-a-whirl?
If you never get behind the tilt-a-whirl one-on-one, you never know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ferris wheel, you're a little bit out in the open. You got to be careful.
Yeah. Well, what do you think happens?
Who knows?
Well, your son's in 7th grade.
That'd be a question for him. I just know they go under there.
so
Like,
is-
I know what happened.
So is next year is Houston going to be under the Ferris wheel or the tilt-a-whirl?
Well, see, here's the thing. He's got 2 fairs next year.
Really?
Yeah, we got a lot.
So,
of,
I that is interesting. Are they going to do in October and then also a spring? Are they going to do 2? Or they just move it to October now?
Well, look, that's what they sold the kids, right? That's what they told the kids to shut them up. It's okay, guys. We're going to have 2 next year.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I hope it does, for the benefit of these kids that want to go under the tilt-a-whirl. Like, I hope they do have 2 next year. But
What are they going to do under the tilt-a-whirl?
you never know.
Okay. Tell people about Prime Occupational Medicine, proud sponsor here on the Riot Podcast.
You're a business owner. If you run a business, if you're in charge of employees any way, shape, or form, you need to get in touch with Prime Occupational Medicine. You can call them at 225-749-5750. Let them tell you how they can help your workforce be as effective and efficient as possible. PrimeOCCMed.com, safety, human resources, and corporate planning.
Reading some of the Facebook comments. By the way, we record the podcast every Tuesday, noon Central Time on the Facebook Live on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge Facebook page. Mark Chambers said they're sucking face under the Ferris wheel.
Mm.
Do you think that's what they're doing?
Maybe.
Were you because it looked like you're making some type of hand gesture. That's not typically associated with sucking face.
Holding hands.
Oh, holding. Is that what you're saying? This one's from Shelby. Says Theriot was slapping wieners under the Ferris wheel. Is that what you're doing?
No, I
Nope.
wasn't.
No, not doing
That's
that.
in the locker room when I'm trying to get hits, okay?
Derek Adams said you can kick rocks, Theriot, with a wiener slap in private.
It's just not a public thing. Like, it's not for everybody to see.
I thought it was funny.
The wiener slap? The wiener slap was good. They went all out wiener grab for everyone to see.
Mm-hmm. That was quick. Well, Derek Adams told you to kick rocks. I'm going to tell Derek Adams to kick rocks. You want to know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because he spelled the Giacomo Dijokimo.
D-I-J-O.
Jokimo.
Did Giacomo.
Damn, bro, you ain't watched this team play one time. They put his name on the screen every time he's batting. Come on, dog. Read a newspaper article. They spell it in there all the time.
Clean it up.
You're on Facebook, like when the lineup's posted, look at it. Dijokimo. I mean, my 8-year-old niece, Sophia, she could spell the Giacomo like that, and I'd be down with it. Oh, boy, on here on Facebook Live, spelling the Giacomo.
I mean, like, he legit sounded it out. He sounded
Jock.
Did Jock. Did Giacomo. Did Giacomo.
Did you? That's so mean to that guy. But come on, you got to clean that up. You got to do a little better than that. All right, so anyway, you watched the national championship game last night? Oh, wait, we're going to get to Ask Us shortly. So we've got Ask Us questions. Fire away. You watched the national championship game?
I did.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, I watched it.
I don't believe you.
I watched it.
Tell me 2 players from Texas Tech.
I can't. I can see their faces and their bodies, but I can't tell you their names.
Oh man.
I like the guy, the big white guy, the point guard, the guy. He played good defense.
No, you got it right.
I liked him, and then they had the dude with the semi mohawk. He was a 3 guy.
What's that mic there, dog?
He was a 3. He played good defense too. I don't know his name.
Ooh, man. All right. I'm going to tell you a name, and you tell me who they played for.
Okay.
All right.
I like this game. This is fun.
All right. Kyle.
Wait, hold on. Is this just Virginia and Texas Tech?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Kyle Guy.
Virginia. I got that guy.
Okay. Deshaun Corprew.
Texas Tech.
Yep. Yeah. Did he play last night?
Yeah, he played. Or he was hurt.
Brandon Francis.
Virginia.
He played 37 minutes for Texas Tech last night. He scored 17 points.
No!
You're telling me you watched this game?
Oh,
You didn't watch anything.
I did watch it.
You didn't watch
I don't know their names. I watched it.
Oh, man.
I didn't watch the overtime.
So when it goes to overtime, you turn it off. At the time when people are actually turning that boring game on is when you turn it off.
I turned the History Channel on. This is I got home at like Macy and Georgia had some soccer, like soccer lesson stuff. So I got home at like 8, I think at 9 o'clock. So the game was halftime. So I watched the second half.
Okay, one more.
While eating sushi.
Yeah, one more.
And then I went, got in the bed and watched History Channel.
One more.
Okay.
Jarrett Culver.
Didn't you just say him?
Texas
Tech. That's easy. Everybody knows that.
Oh, man, that was funny. Boy, that's funny. Okay.
Give me no.
Let me go back to the page. Hold on. All right. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not loading. Hang on.
What's a Red Raider? What is that?
I don't know. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
How about...
You're going down on the bench.
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
How about Will McCoy?
Virginia. Or is that the guy I was talking about?
He plays for Auburn.
You see, that's not fair. It's not fair. You can't do that. That's bull.
So good. Oh, God. Did you hear Johnny Manziel change his name?
Mm-mm.
He's going by John Manziel now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I just wants to be more mature, I guess. He's going by John. He's divorced and got kicked out of the Canadian Football League, and they went to AAF, and they folded. And I think he just wants to be a little more mature now, so he's going by John.
Did he get kicked out of the NFL as well?
Well, he stunk, so he got cut.
He didn't do anything off the field to really. He was good in the NFL.
Well, no, I wouldn't say he was good, but it's not like he got run out of the league. He's out of the league because he stinks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now he's going by John. I wonder what he's got planned. I wonder what the next 5 years look like for him.
Well, I think he's going to go to the XFL. I think he'll play in that next year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that works.
He'd be a good player.
Yeah. All right.
He got his bell wrong the other day.
Who did?
Manziel.
Doing what?
He threw a pick and then got crushed. Yeah.
You got your bell wrong the other day.
Your bell is wrong.
You're wrong. It's your bell. Do you think that the national championship game was fun?
Like fun to watch?
Yeah.
Or fun to play? Like if I was playing, would it be fun?
Fun to watch.
The arena was packed, first off.
Well, it's a championship game, right?
Yeah. I mean, there was a ton of people
And
there.
if you're someone from those two schools, that's like you're never going to get a chance to watch your team win a championship in anything significant again, so you go.
Right. So that was fun. But like somebody that has no rooting interest, really.
Did you see Pat Mahomes there?
I love his name. Every time you say Mahomes, I think McCrotch.
Why?
Pat McCrotch. Like Joey Gallo.
It's so dumb.
Every time I hear his name, I think Pat McCrotch.
Every time I hear Joey Gallo's name, I think that guy should have been hitting at LSU. I can't, like, when I think of Joey Gallo and Delino DeShields, I can't help but think, like, what if those freak shows ever actually showed up on campus? But it's also a reminder why, like, I had this conversation over the weekend with a former Bertman era player from before you. And he was talking about, like, the reason that it's tough for, Maneri teams to put together a lineup or find, big bats in the middle is because he recruits guys that all look the same. And the reality is you don't, like, first of all, power hit, like, you can recruit a Joey Gallo. He's never showing up on campus. Because if you have power in high school, you're right. I mean, they're drafting power bats. Right?
They are.
I mean, like,
they are.
That guy's never showing up on campus. So your alternative is you can recruit a guy, either JUCO or be patient and wait to see if power develops, and they could be your DH or first baseman. But the problem is with roster limits at 35, if you whiff on that guy, then you just got a dead spot on your roster. It gives you nothing. Can't even pinch run for you. It gives you nothing if you can't hit homers. They did that a couple of years ago with Bryce Adams. You remember that guy?
I do.
They recruited Bryce Adams. They wanted to have a power bat in the lineup, and Bryce Adams just couldn't hit at this level.
Yeah.
And so they just had a guy who gave them zero, like literally gave them nothing. And you always want, if you have a utility infielder or an outfielder or a guy with speed, I mean, it can always give you something. If there's an injury or you need a pinch hit or you need a pinch run, I mean, there's value in those guys. If it was the Skip era days and there were no roster limits, you got 45 guys on a roster, well, yeah, I mean, stick that guy on your bench. If the bat comes along, put him in the game and let's see. You just don't really have that luxury anymore. Yeah, but I think sometimes you'll see guys, like, remember a couple years back, Mississippi State had Wes Ray and Ole Miss had Sykes Orvis, big fat first baseman that hit bombs.
So good.
Well, yeah, but they waited on those guys to get better, and they had that roster spot. And they were patient, and it worked for those guys. It doesn't always work that way.
A lot of it has to do with Tigerland too. I mean, you got to have a guy that's in Tigerland 4 nights a week.
You need that guy.
You need that guy.
Why do you need that guy?
It gives you edge.
Gives the team edge.
Gives the team.
Does
edge.
this team have that guy?
I don't think so.
They don't have anybody that just wants to go fight? Like Russell Reynolds was that guy, right?
You need somebody that wants to go fight. I legit watched Brian Wilson chase a guy down Burbank, like stumbled across the ditch and just off into the night, like Forrest Gump running after this guy. Yeah.
Why was he chasing him?
I have no idea. There was a dispute, an argument.
He's going to fight him?
He was trying to go catch, like on foot, just hauling butt after this guy.
Was the guy running or was he driving?
Oh, he was running. They were both, yeah.
How did
you need that guy?
Yeah, you need that guy.
Yeah. Look, here's what I'm going to say about the way the team is constructed. Nolan does an unbelievable job. We've got the number 1 recruiting class, top 2, 3, 4 recruiting class since he's been doing this thing. It goes back to Skip, though, and what has been created here at LSU, and the purple and gold, and the fans, and the championships. So it's fair to say that the place, to a certain extent, recruits itself, right? It's easy to go pick out I have a great example. It's easy to go to Denham Springs right now today and watch Cade Doty, who's going to be on campus next year, okay? 6'1", 195, 6'5" runner, 92, 93 off the mound, lightning quick hands, super athletic.
When you do that and you pitch, you do this. You roll your wrist and you do that.
Yeah.
You go.
Boom. Yeah.
92 off the mound.
Bam. Yeah, that
Quick
guy.
hands. And you've never ever swung like
6'5" runner.
92 off the mound and runs.
Swings the bat.
He swings the bat.
He does that.
He swings the bat.
It's easy to recruit that guy.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knows. I'm going to tell you what's hard to recruit, bro. It is hard to recruit Wes Ray, truthfully. Because here's what you got with Wes Ray in high school.
You got a big fat guy.
You got a fat kid. You got a fat kid.
You got a big fat kid.
Hey, he may be 330 pounds once he hits
I get it.
A couple frat parties and, like, goes to Cane's and, we're eating Louis. Like, you don't know. Like, So it's hard to recruit that guy, man. So the safe bet is, all right, well, since we can get K. Doty, we know we can get him. Like, we're LSU. You go get that guy. And look, I think I probably would do that. Like, you know the sure thing. You know, you have the sure thing, and they do. But, yeah, man, I mean, you need the guys that are big burleys. I like those guys.
Burleys. What do you think they do under the tilt-a-whirl in 8th grade? The big burleys. What did they do? What do the big burleys do under the Ferris wheel in 8th grade?
I don't think the big burleys were under there.
Oh, really?
No, they were picking fights. Like, I want the guy that's not under the tilt-a-whirl. I don't want him.
Why not?
I want the guy that's picking fights with people at the fair. That's the
fair.
dude I want.
That's who you want?
Yep.
The big burly.
I want. Or maybe he doesn't have to be a big burly.
Okay.
He could just be an average guy, but he's like, he goes to the fair for one reason and one reason only. It's to have a fist fight with somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's do Ask Ryan to wrap up here. Anything you want to ask about it, or ask us, I guess. Anything about anything, fire away. It's how we wrap up. It's the Riot Podcast presented by Prime Occupational Medicine. You got anything, fire away. For those who are listening, who are listening to this on the podcast later, you're like, what are you talking about? Well, we do this live on Facebook at noon Central Time every Tuesday. So there's a lot of people watching live, and we appreciate them. And we're going to answer their questions live right now.
Yeah.
So here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Craig Dugas said hashtag free Boosie and Wade.
Yeah, man, Boosie's locked up again.
Why is Boosie locked up? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was swerving up in Atlanta.
Like driving
in his
swerving?
vehicle, he was swerving. Yeah,
Why was he doing
they
that?
pulled him over, and he had marijuana and a loaded gun.
Why would he have that? He's probably going to jail.
Yeah,
That's not good.
It's not good. Not a good look.
Jeff Pizzo, you know who wouldn't text you at 6:30 a.m. to reschedule and then schedule the podcast again? Todd Peterson. Hashtag the Peterson Podcast. Not a bad idea. Maybe we'll do it the podcast with Todd
Yeah,
Peterson.
knock yourself out.
Shelby Kelly. Hey, Theriot, good call on Dansby for MVP. Hitting over 300 on the year. Team leader in homers.
Is he?
Hashtag ask us. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know if that's
I just
true.
think he's got good hair.
It's absurd.
His hair, I know. It's awesome. It's perfect. He made a great play last night, too.
Mark Vitanovich. Anthony Davis's home finale tonight is a Pelican.
Why does he have a unibrow? Like, why wouldn't you shave that at some point? Or wax it? Or
At this point, don't you just own it?
you can't.
Like,
now.
isn't it iconic now? It's
Yes.
yours. You own it.
It is, but I'm saying, like, when he was 16, 17 years old, like, why didn't you just
Yeah.
let me commit to not having this?
I mean, it's really not a hard thing. You just take some trimmers and just, bzz, and you're done.
Or you can get it lasered and it'll
Yeah.
never come back.
For sure.
Anyway.
Derek Adams, your guy who couldn't spell DiGiacomo, said about Garza striking out. I said, yeah, but Garza looked dumbfounded at the plate. He struck out on check swings. That the ball wasn't even close to a strike.
I mean, look, it's good pitchers make hitters look stupid. I mean, they do.
No way. The other guys can't be good.
Yeah.
It's got to be all our guys' fault.
Yeah. You guys
That's how
are
it
good,
works.
man.
AJ Holland disputing you as well. But you put the ball in play. Sooner or later, balls are going to start dropping, and you look like a hero.
I agree with that.
Of course, it's better to put the ball in play
Yeah.
than strike out. Good luck putting the ball in play against 98 from the left side. That's the problem. Brett DeLatte, when does Cabrera come back? Maneri gave an update yesterday. They said he'll swing the bat tomorrow. And if he does so pain-free, he'll play this weekend at Missouri.
Good.
Be a big get, man, to get him back. Ask us, did y'all see the video of Bregman hitting the 82-mile-an-hour wiffle ball from like 40 feet away?
Mm-mm.
Gold. I didn't know it was a
Did you
wiffle
see
ball.
it?
Yeah. It's like out in a field somewhere. Hit the crap out of it.
Really?
Bro, he turned it around. It was impressive.
You ever play wiffle ball as a kid?
Mm-hmm.
I love wiffle ball. It's a good game, huh?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Ask us. Looking at getting Costas, what frame should I get?
I don't know the frames. Do you know the frames?
No, I have no
Or
idea.
sunglasses?
Look, who are you talking to?
no.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah,
Travis
sunglasses.
Valenti said, any stinky pinky.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't even know what that means.
What's that talking about? Shelby Kelly, ask us who replaces Shitu. I don't know. I'm sad he's gone. See me Shitu from Vanderbilt. Gave me a year's worth of comedic content.
Good content.
Really good content on the show. I guess it's Apu Aika. Did you hear Apu drop 35 pounds?
Did he really?
He did. Apu, he dropped 35 pounds.
Does he play for LSU?
Mm-hmm. Defensive lineman.
That's the guy from up there?
Over there, Utah.
That's up to.
Over.
And up.
A little bit, depending on where in Utah. But yeah.
Bit, huh?
Not a lot bit. Over there.
That way.
Mm-hmm. West.
What states border Utah?
Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, California.
They do, don't they?
They do.
How about that? Good for you. Geography guy, eh?
Pretty sure I nailed that. Make sure.
I hear they have big elk in Utah.
Yeah, so
I've
Utah.
never been to Utah.
Oh, Nevada. Sorry.
Oh,
I
it's
screwed that up.
definitely up. It's up.
No, it's
up.
you go Texas into New Mexico into Arizona, and then north of Arizona is Utah, but west of Arizona. So it's not bordering California in the west, it's Nevada. But it does have Colorado on
You
its
ever been to
east.
Utah?
No, I haven't been to Utah. Well, I've been at the airport. I don't know if that counts.
That counts.
Okay, yeah,
You've been
then
there?
yes.
How about the Dakotas? You ever been there?
Yep, I have.
Is it awesome? I've always wanted to go
No,
there.
it's not.
Really?
It's very just vast. If that's the sort of thing you're into.
I like vast.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really my speed. You know, I'm more the guy that's like, give me a big city, not the big vast wasteland. We got to go here in a minute because Hester's about to come in and do a show. But in the studio. So let's go rapid fire here. Who's the guy with the Wesley Snipes Demolition Man hair?
I don't know.
That was the guy, Diakite or whatever from
Texas Tech?
No, from Virginia. You're so bad at that. Ask Ron, when's the last time you changed batteries in your smoke detector?
I don't know.
Ask us, what do you see in struggling LSU batters in relation to launch angle?
I don't think they're thinking about that.
Ask us, when are y'all going to the wilderness on a BlackBerry escapade?
We need to do something. We'll do something soon.
Ask us, does Derek Adams need hooked on phonics?
Maybe.
Ask us, where can I find a medium traction shirt like the one Theriot's wearing?
It's not. I think it's a large, actually. I just got giant arms.
Well, I think he just wants the shirt.
Oh, we don't sell these.
Ask us, status on Daniel Cabrera. Does Maneri hold him out for one more serious precautionary reasons? Does this give DiGiacomo a real chance to solidify the DH spot? I think he's already solidified as the DH.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think if there's any pain at all, he doesn't play at Missouri. Anything. I think you hold him out.
Ask us, is Dickie V hiding in a cave, or has he publicly said anything about the Duke situation yet?
I haven't heard anything.
When I hear Joey Gallo, I think Joey Callow from my cousin Vinny. That is so good. Do you like that movie? That was like my favorite movie of all time. It's one of the best. Marissa Tomei was so good in that.
I know you like it. I've never seen it.
No, it's so good. Ask us, what are the odds that last weekend's starting rotation stays for the rest of the season, barring no more injuries?
If you get two pitchers back healthy, it doesn't stay. Or one pitcher back healthy, it doesn't stay.
Why do you think Todd Peterson is in a slump right now?
I don't know.
Best baseball brawl you've ever been a part of?
I had one in the minor leagues.
Did anybody actually throw a punch?
This one was serious. Like the minor league stuff is big time. One guy got like kicked in the face with the spikes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's legit.
It was good.
All right, one more time. Tell people about Prime Occupational Medicine.
Check out all the offerings that Prime Occupational Medicine has at www.primeoccmed.com, whether it be safety, human resources, corporate planning. If you're a business owner in charge of a workforce, give the people at Prime a call. They can show you how to make your employees more productive, more efficient, thus making better for your business.
All right, Paul, thanks so much, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody who has watched here on Facebook or however you're consuming us. See you next week.